Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning gonna do One Piece episode 548 review. Yo, this episode, I'm not gonna lie to you, the middle portion with that little filler scene with Usopp, Brook, and Zoro, that shit had me rolling. That to me was funny. All right, Usopp is he's a comedian. He's the funniest guy on that damn shit. I swear, I love Usopp. But that being said, overall, this episode was a setup episode in order to set up the actual combat scenes where we have Fukaboshi and the princes against Dosen. Then we have the combat scenes next week. It's going to be, of course, Luffy against Jinbei, you know, and basically it's a setup episode. But in my opinion, I thought it was fairly well done. Okay. So, that being said, 3 key points. The first key point is going to be Hody Jones' speech, which entitles 4 things. The first thing that entitles is the moving of the Fishman District to actual Fishman Island. The people who live in the Fishman District, who normally hate humans, are now going to move to Fishman Island in order to spur forward the notion that humans are inferior to us. The second thing is Neptune decides to execute... No, correction. Hody Jones decides to execute Neptune in front of the entire... basically in the plaza, where a large viewing audience can witness his death, in order to send a message. And basically, he compared it to the execution of Goldie Roger. Whereas Goldie Roger, he died, and this spurred forward the Great Pirate Age. When he kills Neptune, this is going to spur forward the Great Fishman Age. So, you know, that's Hody Jones' entire plan, which I actually thought was, I thought that little tidbit was pretty cool. The next thing about the speech entitles the signatures. He finds the signatures of not only the Tenryubito, the signature of that, but also he finds the signatures of all those who supported Queen Otohime, meaning that to him it's a list of traitors. And he reads out a few names, and after he's done killing Neptune, he's gonna go and execute, or he's gonna go and remove these people from Fishman Island. That's number 3, and number 4 is of course Zoro, Usopp, and Brook, who are encaged in some tower, and it's being flooded with water. And he makes the threat statement against Luffy, you know, like, you're human, you're weak, you're pathetic, and you don't belong here, this is our, you know, like, all that stuff. And that's his speech in of itself. That's number 1. Number 2 is the little flash, I mean, like, you know, like that little flashback scene of Brook and how he messes with the fishmen because they think he's dead, and Brook could have used the opportunity to play dead and save Zoro and Sanji, but, Zoro and Usopp. But he doesn't. In fact, he pulls like a gag moment where he fucks with the fishermen, and then they turn around and just punch him. Like, get out of here, man. Like, what are you doing? So, and then, of course, Usopp is, you know, he's funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. That one scene where he's like using his nose. He's like, he's using his nose and trying to open. He's trying to get rid of the chains that are around Zoro. And that was pretty funny, in my opinion. Usopp's a comedian, especially that one part where he like portrays another character. He's done it with Sanji, he's done it with Zoro, with Nami. Now it's Robin. He just played Robin, and that to me was funny. And they're trying to figure out a way in order to escape. And next week, the way they escape is pretty cool. It's pretty beastly. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm looking forward to like these next few episodes of One Piece, because in my opinion, they're going to be fairly beastly. I mean, at least beastly. That's number 2. Number 3 is the confrontation between Jinbei and Luffy, where Shirahoshi sees that her father is about to be executed. She decides to go off and try and save him, but Jinbei says no. And the main Jinbei and Hachi say no. And the main reason is because Hody Jones considers Shirahoshi a major threat because she can communicate with the Sea Kings, and that's the main reason why Hody Jones teamed up with Vanderdecker in order to take out Shirahoshi, in order to take her out of the picture so he can rule Fishman Island with an iron fist. But her existence threatens his entire scheme. So this is a ploy. So King Neptune's execution is a ploy to lure out Shirahoshi so he can kill her too. And Jinbei sees this plan. Jinbei and Hachi see this plan. And Luffy, and by the way, I thought it was kind of funny how Luffy, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, my bounty's for 400 million berries. So, you know, he's really happy about that. But basically, Luffy doesn't give a shit. He wants to go in there, he wants to save Usopp, Zoro, and Brook. But, and then he wants to go and kick Horty's ass. However, Jinbei once again says something that's very true. Whereas if Luffy were to go and defeat Horty Jones, then this wouldn't help the strengthening between humans and fishmen. In fact, it would widen the gap, because we have a human pirate who is beating the shit, or he's beating the shit out of a fishman. Granted, the fishman was, basically it widens the gap, right? It widens the gap. I'm not going to go on a tangent. It widens the gap. So, Jinbei, he's saying no, Luffy's saying yes, and then they're about to fight each other. Now, and that's the end of the episode. Now, in my opinion, again, this episode was a setup episode. It was there just to set up the confrontation between the two major factions right now. The Luffy and, like the Luffy and Jinbei versus, and then we have the Princes versus Dosen and the other commanders of the Fishman Pirates, of the new Fishman Pirates. So, I'm looking forward to seeing both fights. In my personal opinion, this fight between Luffy and Jinbei, it should be extended fairly, because sometimes in One Piece they do extend the fights with filler scenes, and I really want to see a bunch of filler scenes added. I want to see like Luffy just doing mad shit and Jinbei do like mad merman karate. Fishman karate. So, but in my opinion, a solid episode of One Piece. Look down below for the preview of One Piece episode 549. This is King of Lightning. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day.